family, Iridium. Hope you're doing all right today. Another reaction from the car. Another car reaction. Anyway, that's too much excitement for one day for me. Anyway, Seventh Wonder, Not an Angel. Now, this was suggested to me by a subscriber called Matthias. I think you pronounce it. I really do apologise, Matthias, or Matthias, for my pronunciation. It is awful, which you're going to find out in a minute because I'm going to say some Swedish names as well. So he suggested this one, Seventh Wonder. I think he gave me a pick of a few songs. I just picked one, Not an Angel. And he said, like, if you like a bit of prog, because he obviously was, I think it was under the Dark Water reaction. He said, you might like this. The thing is, prog for me, I'm not a huge fan of prog, so I like the odd bit. When, you know, progressive to me is probably Queensryche. That's about as far as I go. That's not very far, is it? But I do like the odd bit as well, apart from those guys. You know, I like it when elements come into a band. And obviously the Cap Outrun album that's going to be coming out interests me as well. So did the Dark Water one as well. I like that. But I don't like it all. When it gets a bit too complicated, it's not for me. It's just one of those things. I appreciate prog, but whether I like it all is a different matter. So this is a bit of a risk, I'd say. Well, it's not a risk. It's not, you know, it's not going to harm anyone. But I can appreciate it even if it's too complicated. But it might not be this one. So Seventh Wonder, Not an Angel. It's off the album Waiting in the Wings from 2006. Quite an old one then. Well, not old, but, you know, it's a few years old. Swedish, like I said. In the band is Tommy. Here we go. Tommy Karavik on the vocals. He sang for Camelot for a little while as well. Andre Soderin on keys. Johan Leif Vendel on guitar. Andreas Blomqvist on the bass. And Johnny Sandin on the drums. How did I do? Let me know in the comments below, obviously. So obviously I think this band have been going quite a while. Let's just get on with it, shall we? So Seventh Wonder, Not an Angel. It's nearly 7 minutes long, 6 minutes and 44 seconds. I'm going to be drinking my tea. I'll try not to slurp over the sound of the band, because that would really annoy me. It really would. So here we go. Seventh Wonder, Not an Angel. Nice going. I mean, it's clever. It's clever. I mean, I don't. You know what? When I was younger, and Master of Puppets came out, the album, and Orion, the song Orion, the instrumental, and there's an odd time signature in that, isn't there? I think you all know what bit I mean. It's and it's sort of like the drums just. And I used to think, God, that really sounds like so progressive. You know, that sounds really weird. And now, I mean, this song is just weird all over, isn't it? It's not weird. It's just so complicated. I like the chorus, actually. The chorus is really catchy. But it's so stop-start. Sorry, so stop-start. It's like when it started, I was like, it had a complicated start, and I thought, all right, okay, it's going to go into maybe a less complicated verse. The verses were really complicated for me, and like I've always said, I apologise for my stupidity, and you know, I'm so sort of like naive about prog that it probably is not that confusing or complex to other prog lovers, but for me it is. It's just so like, oh, it's going to go, no it's not, it's going to go, no it's not. It's a bit too much for me. But I mean, even Cap Out Run for me was a little bit out like that, you know. But then there's something about them that sort of draws me in more. I think it's the Toto feels for them. This is like a little bit heavier. It's not really heavy, by the way, because there's a lot of synths and stuff going on. But the stop-start, I'm like that. Although I appreciate it, I really do. And it's just amazing. They're amazing musicians. You know, the guy's voice is fantastic. I love it when he reaches the high. He sort of goes for it a little bit and his voice breaks slightly into a sort of a rougher edge. I noticed that a couple of times. I love that. I love his voice. And everyone in the band is obviously amazing. They're just amazing musicians. I'm finding it hard, and it's meant to be that way. I know it's meant to be loads of odd time signatures and stop-start and, you know, unexpected stuff. That's what progressive music is meant to be. That's the idea of a progressive band. That's, you know, people say about Iron Maiden are now a progressive band. They're not really, are they? Because they don't do anything like this, odd time signatures all over the place. They just do longer songs and with long instrumental bits. This is progressive, you know, this is completely different. It's like I like parts of it, especially the chorus, but it's all together, it's a bit too much. My head's a bit fucked up listening to it, but appreciate it massively at the same time. It's like I can understand why people like it, and I say this about a lot of music. I can understand why people love it, but it's whether you love it or not, the listener, innit? Anyway, here we go for the rest of this. We haven't even got to the solo yet. Here we go. I love that gallop. I like this bit. bit mad. I actually liked, I think I preferred the second part after I put my headphones back on. I liked, even though I think it was a synth solo, oh, I know it was a synth solo, even though it was a synth solo, I loved the rhythm behind it, the rhythm guitar. And then there was only a tiny little guitar solo, but it was really like mental, you know, so complicated, but in a good way. So I think I prefer, and then it went into the chorus, obviously, which I like the chorus. And he done that scream again. Did anyone know what I'm talking about the singer's voice when he goes for that higher register? He sounds great. It's like he breaks like into sort of some sort of more rough sound. I love his voice. It's just, it was a bit mad. And I know it's just me because I'm not a huge prog fan or know anything about prog. Is that's why it blew my mind a little bit. But you know, there's some great melodies in there. Everyone in the band is just amazing. I wouldn't mind, I know it's just one guitar and one keyboard, and I appreciate when a lot of bands, when they're in the recording studio, they'll put layers of guitars. So they'll put a rhythm guitar behind a solo, a guitar solo. I like it when bands don't do that. If they've only got one guitar, just do the one guitar in the studio as well, so you get what, you know, live you'll get what it sounds like. Because I was thinking, you know, I wouldn't have minded another guitar, but I'm glad they didn't do it in the studio, because I think it gives you a bit more heaviness, like behind that soloing. You know what I mean? I don't know why. I think there was a guitar and the keyboards playing that little bit at the end, because I couldn't hear a rhythm guitar. So, but the keys are very prevalent in this band. They seem to be the main driving force behind the music. I don't know if the other songs are like that, if it's more guitar orientated, but in this song it seemed to be very keyboard orientated. There's nothing wrong with keyboards, especially in prog, because they are a big part of it. I understand that. Anyway, I don't really know what to think. I like parts of the song. I don't love it all. But remember, guys, I'm not a prog lover. I like bits of it. And, you know, that's just the way I am. I'm going to tell you the truth. Anyway, thank you very much, Matthias. I think that's how you say your name. For suggesting it. I'm always up for trying new music, for sure. So, sort of on the fence a little bit with that one, I'm afraid. But what do you think about it? You subscribers, you know what you're talking about when it comes to prog, hopefully. Let me know in the comments below what you think of it. Musicianship was amazing, wasn't it? And that chorus was great. But let me know what you think of the song in general. And I'll see you next time.